At exactly 2:17 a.m., a horrifying scream shattered the silence inside the luxurious Blackwood mansion. Crystal chandeliers trembled as bodyguards sprinted toward the master bedroom with their hands on their radios. Inside, Ethan Blackwood, a 48-year-old self-made millionaire whose fortune was worth hundreds of millions, sat upright on his king-sized bed, drenched in sweat and gripping his chest. His face had turned pale, and his eyes were fixed on the enormous handcrafted mattress beneath him. "It's happening again," he yelled, his voice cracking with fear. "Someone is inside this bed. I can hear them." The room fell silent. Doctors, nurses, security officers, and even Ethan's personal assistant exchanged worried looks. For nearly 3 weeks, Ethan had insisted that scratching, tapping, and faint knocking sounds came from inside the mattress every single night. Every medical test showed he was physically healthy. Psychologists blamed stress, while security experts searched every corner of the mansion and found nothing. Everyone believed the billionaire was slowly losing his mind, everyone except one woman. Her name was Martha Collins, a kind-hearted, overweight nurse in her 50s who had spent most of her career caring for lonely elderly patients in public hospitals. She wasn't famous, wealthy, or glamorous like the specialists Ethan usually hired. Some guards whispered insults behind her back because of her appearance, believing she had no place working inside a billionaire's mansion. But Martha had something none of them possessed: patience. Instead of dismissing Ethan's fear, she quietly observed him for days. She noticed that the mysterious sound only appeared when he rested on one specific side of the mattress. She placed her ear against the fabric while everyone laughed at her. A few seconds later, her expression changed completely. Hidden beneath layers of expensive memory foam was a faint metallic tapping that no one else had bothered to notice. Ignoring the shocked expressions around her, Martha stood up and calmly reached for a medical utility knife from her emergency kit. "What are you doing?" one guard shouted. "That mattress costs more than your yearly salary." Another guard rushed toward her, demanding she step away immediately. Martha looked directly into Ethan's frightened eyes and spoke with absolute confidence. "Mr. Blackwood, if I'm wrong, you can fire me today. But if I'm right, this mattress has been hiding something for a very long time." Ethan, exhausted from weeks without proper sleep, slowly nodded. "Do it." The guards protested loudly, but Ethan raised his hand, ordering everyone to stand back. Martha took a deep breath and carefully sliced through the expensive mattress. Feathers and layers of foam scattered across the polished marble floor. Everyone watched in complete silence. Then, suddenly, the blade struck something hard. "Stop!" Martha whispered. She reached deep into the opening and slowly pulled out a rust-proof steel container wrapped tightly in waterproof plastic. The entire room froze. Ethan stared at the mysterious box, unable to speak. It was impossible. The mattress had been custom-made years earlier and delivered directly from Europe. No one had ever opened it. With trembling hands, Ethan unlocked the box using a small emergency key attached to its side. Inside were dozens of legal documents, encrypted flash drives, old photographs, and a strange electronic device with a blinking red light. The tiny device emitted the exact tapping sound that had haunted Ethan every night. Its battery was dying, causing it to activate whenever pressure was applied to the mattress. Before anyone could understand what was happening, Ethan opened the first folder, and his face turned white. The documents revealed that his closest business partner of 20 years, Victor Hale, had secretly transferred ownership of several billion-dollar hotels into shell companies using forged signatures. The evidence had been hidden years earlier by someone involved in a conspiracy, placed inside the custom mattress where no investigator would ever think to look. Whoever hid it had planned to recover it later, but they never got the chance. Ethan immediately ordered his security chief to contact the authorities. Within an hour, financial investigators confirmed that the documents were genuine. Victor Hale, the man Ethan had trusted like a brother, had spent years stealing from him while pretending to protect the company. Even worse, Victor had recently begun pressuring Ethan to sell the mansion, hoping the mattress would eventually end up in his possession without raising suspicion. As police vehicles surrounded the estate before sunrise, Victor attempted to escape aboard his private helicopter. He was arrested minutes before takeoff, carrying passports, cash, and several offshore banking records that matched the evidence found inside the mattress. News channels across the country exploded with the unbelievable story. Headlines praised the miraculous discovery, but no one knew the woman responsible. Reporters crowded outside the mansion hoping to interview Ethan. Instead of speaking to the cameras, he quietly walked into the hospital cafeteria later that afternoon, where Martha was eating a simple lunch alone. He sat across from her and placed the recovered steel box on the table. "You saved far more than my fortune," Ethan said softly. "You saved my reputation, my company, and probably my life. Everyone else saw an expensive mattress. You listened to a frightened human being." Tears filled Martha's eyes as Ethan handed her a folder. Inside was the deed to a beautiful house, a lifetime financial reward, and documents establishing the Collins Compassion Foundation, an organization dedicated to funding nursing scholarships and improving patient care across the country. Ethan insisted that Martha become its first director. Over the following years, thousands of nurses graduated through the foundation, inspired by Martha's compassion and courage. Ethan rebuilt his company with honesty, refusing to forget the lesson that changed his life forever. Whenever young entrepreneurs asked him the secret behind protecting wealth, Ethan never spoke about investments, luxury, or power. He simply smiled and replied, "Never ignore the quiet voice that everyone else laughs at. Sometimes the person the world underestimates is the only one brave enough to uncover the truth hidden beneath everything." And that unforgettable night proved that courage, kindness, and careful observation are worth far more than money, because while riches can build a mansion, only wisdom can save the person living inside it.